Hey moms, and welcome back to Momestly. In today's video, we are going to be talking about our October charity and doing a craft. Yeah, so October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Last year we did some pumpkin shirts that we sold, and then all the money that we got for those went to an organization called, hey Josh, called Forever Footprints. So we'll be doing that again this year, but I did a different design instead of the pumpkin. And instead, I was trying to think of something that I could come up with in my mind that would be a good representative of the statistic for pregnancy and infant loss, which is 1 in 4. Last year we did a pumpkin, and in a piece of the pumpkin it said, 1 in 4. And then we did Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, and we did the ribbons on the front. So I was trying to think of something that I thought would be kind of fall themed, but not a pumpkin, but also a good, that would look good for the message that we're trying to get across. I personally did not know that the statistic was so horrifying. 1 in 4 is rough. It's a pretty emotional statistic. And I know when I was designing the shirt and I did the final product, like, it was actually a pretty emotional moment for me, because I feel like I was able to capture exactly what I wanted to capture. So I'm going to cut the shirt in 2 different colors of vinyl. I'm doing gold glitter. And like this, I feel like on camera, this looks a lot brighter than it actually is. This is maroon. This is actually a very dark red. So this is actually the picture that I made. So as you can see, this is our tree. And then 3 leaves and 1 falling over the 1 in 4. And I was just kind of consumed by this image. I think it's a really powerful statement. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's going to look really good on a shirt. But I think it draws attention to just what this looks like in numbers. Yeah, so I think one of the things that makes it kind of pretty powerful is that there are these 3 leaves on this tree that have withstood, the change so far. And then there's this one solitary one just kind of floating away from the others. It's sort of symbolic. I feel like that's probably pretty obvious. But it's, the women who go through pregnancy or infant loss probably feel pretty alienated. I know we were fortunate that it only took us about 6 months to get pregnant, but I do feel like in the beginning months when I was so ready to have a baby that it felt like everybody else either already had it, had that part of their life, or had multiple children, or had just found that they were pregnant, and it was not me. And so I can only imagine what women who lose their pregnancies feel like, or women who go through the process of having a successful pregnancy, giving birth, and then losing their child after. So that's what we're doing in the craft today. It's going to be pretty standard Cricut cutting and weeding and stuff. It's going to be pretty cut and dry. So I'm going to use the maroon and the gold glitter. I ordered more today because I've got to make Melinda's shirt, and Dawn, I know, is going to donate. She always does. So I've got to make hers too. So I'm going to go ahead, and I already ordered some more vinyl. Melinda's picking that up today. So I'm just going to go. So I wear an extra large shirt. And I already know, because I make so many of my own shirts. I already know what is going to look good on an extra large. So my height for the image total is 9, but the width is 10, and some change. But that's just so that it's, you know, you get the whole thing. So I'm just going to go to cut. I just need to make this all one color. There we go. And fun fact, if you do have a Cricut and you're using cursive letters, this is something that I did not know in the beginning. So there's a few projects where this would have been handy to know. Like my picture behind me, actually. If you do a cursive font, the letters do not automatically connect. So it's actually helpful if you weld them together, because that way, when you do that, it's all solid, versus like pieces of the letters will be cut out of the other letters and it kind of turns messy. So yeah, so I'm going to go to make it. And then just have to mirror everything. It's pretty easy. Listening to music in my ear. That's really hard not to sing. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to cut that. And once that's cut, I'll be right back. One other quick note, we have a bunch of these cutting mats. This one is getting some stuff. It's getting a little less sticky. This one is relatively new, so it's still super sticky. So I'm actually going to put the glitter on the newer ones, because glitter is a whole nother ballgame. And I'm going to put the maroon on this other one. If you're watching this in the sense of a tutorial, I suppose I should probably treat it that way just in case. We don't want any thumbs down on this video. So if, you know, when you're doing HTV, unless it is a specific type that says otherwise, it's usually shiny side down. And you just line it up on your mat where your cutout is going to go. So like this. My tree is going to take up about this much space. So, and that one will be ready to go. So then I'm going to select my material, which is Everyday Iron On. Feed that into that. Make sure it's flat. Follow the instructions. Hit cut. And then so for the glitter, I will be very surprised if I don't have to use tape. If you have a Cricut machine, or you're a crafter in general, you should always have masking tape. It's super perfect. See how like rolled it is? Sorry, I gotta call in the interrupted video. Anyway, so see how rolly this is? I'm probably gonna need tape, so we'll see. So we're gonna try to put it down without needing tape. And as you can see, it's not sticking, even though this is hella sticky, so we're gonna have to use masking tape. I'll be right back. Yeah, so when things don't stick, this is what we do. It works okay. Glitter can be one of those things where we already know that the glitter vinyl itself isn't like the best at doing the things that we want it to do. So I'm just gonna take this bitch down. They do have, I should say this because I feel like somebody who uses Cricut is going to be like, you could just use a different mat. And that's true, but I don't want to. I'd rather complain about taping it. Mostly because I do have glitter vinyl that stays fine on these mats. And my biggest thing with it is I don't want to end up using all the sticky on glitter vinyl because we use it a lot. So this is I'm pretty sure that's Cricut brand glitter vinyl. The glitter vinyl that we get from our normal place is called JSI Signs. It's a place in Atlanta, and they ship, so if you ever need HTV, or regular vinyl too, craft vinyl, they're awesome. Anyway, so their vinyl is so much easier to use. Anyway, so that's taped. Isn't that ridiculous? So now I'm going to go into my image that's going to go on this and move them so that they don't get stuck on the tape part, which is fine. I'm only going to use this glitter for this project. So, well, for now. I've got some other stuff, but anyways. So I'm going to set those up. Look, there we go. My head done. So one important thing to do whenever I switch, because I'm switching from everyday iron-on vinyl to glitter vinyl, is to make sure that I change my base material to glitter iron-on vinyl. We've learned that if you just do glitter vinyl, it doesn't always cut it all the way through. So you have to do glitter iron-on vinyl, and then you're good to go. So I'm going to let the tree finish cutting, and then I'm going to let this cut, and then we'll be right back. I guess one thing I didn't really talk about is how I made the image look like that. So I knew when I pictured this image in my head with the leaves and the ground and the tree, I wanted them to have like a mandala effect in them. I didn't want it to just be like some boring, like cut, like just outlines of these things. So what you do is you take your image, and a mandala image, which you can get, they have them in Cricut, you can get them online, like they're awesome. Anyway, and you put the two images on top of each other, you select both images, and then you hit slice, and then it'll slice up the image in I think like 4 different ways, and you just remove the pieces that you don't need, and you take the pieces that you do want, which is what left me with the leaves and the tree that I have. So slice is awesome. We've since Melinda has learned to use it and has told me how to use it, I use it a lot. I really like adding effects like that to like normal images. It just makes them look a lot cooler. Cool. So that's our tree. I don't know if you can even see the cuts. Probably not. Oh, a little bit. So there's that. And I'm going to do this gold one. I'm going to change our base material first. Yeah, so glitter iron-on. Oh, and then we always change our pressure to more. Makes a difference. Because otherwise, weeding glitter vinyl can be a nightmare. And if you're not familiar with the term weeding, it is when you take different tools and you take out the excess pieces of the image that you're not going to use. So yeah, so this this charity is pretty special. We actually were hoping to host a walk in Atlanta this year, but with COVID, we weren't able to organize it or get it done, because a lot of walks that are still being done right now are being done virtually or through like apps and trackers and stuff. So we didn't get to do that this year. So instead we're, which we probably would have done the shirts anyway, but we're going to do the shirts again. And I don't know if we've talked about like, if we're going to do the pumpkins again too. We may leave them up as an option. I have no idea. We haven't decided. I just felt like we needed a new one. So here we are. So one thing I do that I feel like a lot of people probably do is I always cut off the excess so I'm not wasting it, weeding it. So we have this little thing. It cuts. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to weed and probably not talk. So my tree is done. This is the light that I'm using. It's like a little craft caddy. It's amazing. It's really going to come in handy when I do this glitter, because sometimes glitter is really hard to see. So that should be fun. So the tree turned out cute. It still looks really bright on camera. It's actually a little bit darker, but anyway, but that's the tree. So that's gonna be done. Just waiting on the glitter. So I went to weed the leaves. They're a little too intricate for glitter. Glitter vinyl is so pretty when it works, but it is so finicky in the types of things you can do. Like the images can't be too small, or it doesn't, like, it's just a pain in the butt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redesign the leaves. And then try again. So like I tried to recut them. And I changed the settings, but like, you see how it's like, well, first of all, I fucked up because I put the tape too low. But aside from that, you see how it's like shredded. So like when I'm peeling it off, everything is just coming off. It's a nightmare. So I'm going to throw this. Melinda just texted me to tell me that she's pretty sure there's more gold in the, we have like a container for our shreds. So I'm going to try that, see if I can come up with a design that's going to work and be a little easier for the glitter, and then we're going to see how that goes. So she's right. And it seems like this is the other kind, so you see how it's not as rolly? It's because they don't put theirs in rolls like that. They put them in either sheets or big giant rolls that are, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway. All right, so I have found some other leaves. And I think that they're going to be fine. Like, I think I like them enough. I really wanted them to have the mandala effect, but I really wasn't thinking about the fact that glitter can be kind of a bitch. All right. So see, no tape. It's almost like the Cricut brand isn't better. Okay. Don't sue me, Cricut. Yeah, so this worked a lot better. You probably can't really see. A little bit. It also probably worked better because it's not Cricut vinyl. I don't have anything against Cricut vinyl, but let me just be real honest with you. And they're in total denial if they don't know these things. You can get super great quality vinyl for so much cheaper if you buy it wholesale. Like the place that we use, which we've referenced a million times before, we've probably linked them before, we'll link them again. Like, I'm just saying it's worth it because for what you pay for with the Cricut stuff, like, I don't feel like you get the same experience in terms of getting it ready to even go on the damn shirt. But it's just so much more affordable. And that's my rant about that. I really don't have anything. We have Cricut vinyl. I just don't prefer it. And we're in Cricut groups and stuff on Facebook, and they don't prefer it either. Everybody buys vinyl from somewhere else. I would actually legitimately like to see just how much money Cricut makes off vinyl sales, because there are some people who will not buy anything that's not Cricut vinyl. All right, so slide this down. Let's weed this bitch. Okay, so that's ready. Oops. All these stools in here. So I got my line that I messed up. My 1 and 4. My tree. My beautiful leaves that I need to cut up because they're all going in different places. Yeah, so right now I'm just waiting on my press to heat up. Oh, that's really low temp. No. So I'm going to increase the temperature because that's too low, to 300. Okay, so I'm going to let that get hot, and then I'm going to flatten out the shirt because they just came in a big bag the other day. So anyway, so I am actually very excited about these shirts. I'm very excited to see what it turns out to look like. So the shirts are going to be available in gray, black. They're going to be available in gray or white. We're not going to do multiple colors, and this dark maroon isn't going to show up very good on black, even though the gold would look good. It's not really. I'm going to take this piece of vinyl off because from where it cut into the mandala, it just looks like a messed up piece of vinyl. So I'm going to take that out and leave that. I'll need to go through and remove these pieces from the file. There we go. That looks a lot better. Get the hair out of the way. Cool. All right, so that's that. Just trying to make sure my placement is good. Don't worry, I'm not pressing it like this. Just trying to make sure everything. Oh, Jesus. Cool. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do my tree first because it's the biggest part. Just going to do half. Do my timer for 30 seconds. I'm only going to do it for 15, and then I'm going to come down and do the bottom half for 15. So there's actually a chart for how to use this press, and then there's also guides based on the type of vinyl that you use. I do not always follow them. Sometimes they will say things like best to peel when cool, or, you know, that you can't warm peel or whatever. But the thing is, I hot peel everything that I do. And the only thing that has ever been an issue is metallics. Those you do have to let cool. But everything else, in my opinion, does better if you hot peel. Plus, I mean, I'm going to go over this again. So there's my tree. Ah, so cute. What do we want to do next? Actually, I'm actually going to turn on my mini. Mostly because I feel like it's just better to do the little stuff with the mini. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Turn that on while that's getting hot. I'm going to do my line across. Always make sure that you protect the pieces that you've already done by putting vinyl over them, because, well, I've learned the hard way that you will really mess up some shit if you don't do it that way. So there's that. Make sure that's nice and straight. So we'll do that for 15. But my mini is done, so we're going to do the mini on the leaf. The mini doesn't have to have a time. Doesn't have a timer on it, so you just have to like guesstimate. So one thing I am going to do is I'm going to go back over it one more time again, but I have big sheets of stuff, and then I also have Teflon. I'm going to use a big sheet of vinyl if I can find one big enough to cover this whole thing. This time I'm going to do it for the full 30. Ta-da! will give hopefully a little bit of insight into, you know, what goes into the charity shirts that we make. We definitely make them ourselves by hand. Yeah, they're a lot of fun to make. I think they're for such a great cause. Forever Footprints, if you weren't a follower last year and you didn't see, and you haven't seen the posts and stuff about them, Forever Footprints is an organization that provides a lot of different types of support for families that lose children, whether miscarriage or, you know, other things. Just cleaning up my mess. They provide a lot of articles, a lot of information, but they're just a really good organization, one that we found and we fell in love with, and you know, we want to continue to help support them in any way that we can. So we'll put a link to them in the description below, along with our vinyl site, a link where you can get one of these shirts for yourself. We ship for free, and every dollar that we make off the shirts is going to go directly to the organization. We don't profit from this in any way. And this year, because of where we are, we actually are not even using any of the money to get product for the shirts. So it's 100% every dollar that you spend goes directly to Forever Footprints. And we will also have a donation link as well for if you just want to donate a different dollar amount but don't want to purchase a shirt. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I'm going to continue to do a craft video every other month. I thought this was a good one to start with, since we're getting ready for October's charity. But we're going to start selling the shirts a little earlier this year to see if we can hopefully raise a little bit more money. Yeah, so make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, and that's whether you liked it or hated it. If you have organizations that you support during this time or others that you're interested in, definitely let us know, or we'd love to hear about other organizations that are support systems for moms and families in those really rough situations. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Hit the bell icon so you get notified when we release more amazing content. And as always, we're on the socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Momestly Me. And yeah, we'll be sporting these shirts, well, forever. I love it. It turned out so good. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. So yeah. So see you guys next time.